So myself, I'm Vijay. Like I hold like 17 plus years of experience, which includes 8 plus years of experience in Python. So my experience includes design, development, and implementation of Python and Django-based applications. Well versed in implementing different Python libraries like NumPy, CP, Pandas, PyTables, Matplotlib, right? URLib, etc. So as part of today's demo, I'm just going to cover the following topics, like why Python, right? Yes. Why Python? Already we have got many programming languages, right? Like Java, all the remaining programming languages. Why again Python required? And Python is not a kind of technology like which is very recently introduced, right? It was introduced in the year 1989, almost like 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago it was released. But why all of a sudden Python has got great boom? Why all of a sudden Python has got great boom? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Yes. Who can learn Python, right? Who can learn Python? What are the prerequisites for learning Python, right? Do you have any prerequisites, right? No, there is no prerequisite. Anybody can update with Python, right? So Python statements look like normal English statements. They are not as complex as other programming. So anybody can update with Python. How Python was built? How Python was built, right? By taking the advantages, right, from different other programmings, right? I'll brief you about all these things, right? Python real-time applications. What kind of applications are you developing today by using Python? Python real-time applications. What kind of applications are getting developed using Python today? Right. So whenever you update with any technology, you need to know what kind of applications are getting developed. Right. Python usage, right? Python usage. Who are using Python today? Which companies are using Python today? Like, and Python features, right? Python features. Python comparison with other programming, right? Yes. Python comparison with other programming. Python comparison with other programming, right? Yes, yes. Reasons why Python is suddenly super popular, right? Reasons why. Reasons why Python is suddenly super popular, right? Yes. And Python scope and job market. This is what I'll be discussing in today's and tomorrow's session, right? Yes. Python scope and job market. Okay. So why Python? Who can learn Python? How it was built? Python real-time applications. Python usage, Python features, Python comparison with other programming, reasons which makes it super popular, and Python scope and job market, right? So first I'll go with define Python in 5 lines. Python is a, right? Python is a general purpose programming. General purpose programming. Python is a general purpose programming. It's general purpose programming. Then any type of general purpose programming means any kind of application, right? Any kind of application we can develop using Python, right? Yes. For example, before Python, we have got some programming languages like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, right? Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, right? These languages, these languages are purpose-based languages. Pascal, Fortran, COBOL. These are purpose-based, used for a specific purpose. Pascal for scientific applications, Fortran for complicated mathematical applications, COBOL for business applications. For a specific purpose, right? But a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application. Such a language we call it as general purpose programming. So Python is such a kind of programming where any kind of application we can develop, right? Yes. Like web applications, automation applications, gaming applications, animation applications, embedded applications, desktop applications, right? In this way, wide varieties of applications we can develop today by using Python. It's a general purpose programming. Apart from this, it's a multi-programming. It's a multi-programming, right? Yes. Multi-programming features. What all the features? I'll give a labor example, right? For example, if you want to launch a new product in the market, right? Think that you want to launch a new mobile phone, right? To attract the customers, what features you want to include in it, right? Like the features what we see in different other mobiles, all the features embedding into a single piece, right? Attracts the customers, right? In the same way, Python is a kind of programming where we see the features of different other programming languages within it, right? Like object oriented features, procedural oriented features, scripting features, right? And modular programming features, right? So multi programming features. That's why we call Python as a hybrid language. Multi programming features, right? Yes. Okay. It's a high level language, right? It's a high level language. High level language, but Python is a, there are two types of languages I can say, right? There are two types of languages. Low level languages and high level languages, but low level languages, secondly, like high level languages, right? Yes. Low level languages and high level language. Low level languages, what? Like assembly level language or machine level language, right? Assembly level, right? Assembly level or machine level language, right? These languages, right? They are not human understandable. Mainly, right? They are not human understandable. They are not portable. And secondly, they are not portable, right? They are not portable. And not human understandable, they are not portable, and mainly like third. Machine, right? Machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems, right? But high level languages, right? High level languages. High level language like Python, right? Python. Human understandable. First one is like human understandable. Secondly, they are portable. Human understandable, they look like normal English statements. They are portable. And machine independent, can run on all the hardwares and all the operating system. It is like machine independent. General purpose programming, multi-programming features, high level language, and interpreted, right? Yes. General purpose programming, multi-programming. It's a high level language, interpreted language. Line by line execution we are going to see, which makes debugging easy, right? Yes. And user friendly programming or programmer friendly programming, which provides simple syntaxes, right? User friendly programming. Yes. User friendly programming, which provides simple syntaxes, which looks like normal English statements, right? And you need to understand that Python has got features. Python has got what features? Multi-programming features, right? Hybrid features. From which programming languages it has taken the features from is Python has got, observe, right? Python has got the following features, right? Like Python. Python has got procedural oriented programming, right? Procedural oriented programming features, right? Like example, like C language, it has got the features just like a C language. That's got object oriented programming features, right? Object oriented programming. Example like C++, Java. That's got the properties of scripting, right? Python has got the properties of Scripting features, right? Example like shell script, Linux shell script, it looks very complex, right? But as compared to Python script, Python statements look simple, right? Like normal English statement, shell script. And that Python has got a great boom today, right? Because of this modular programming, right? Modular programming. So example like modular 3. Yes. Two major programming languages which are mostly used today for enterprise application development, Python and Java, right? Python and Java. But if you talk as compared today, like today's industry, right? Python is mostly preferred. If we talk about Java in the year 2010, right? Java is 43% used in the industry, right? Yes. At that time, like Python, just 3% used. Most of them are not aware that there is a programming language like Python. Only 3% used. But later, after 10 years from there, right, 2020, Java, the usage has decreased, right? Today, like if you talk about data science, there is machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, right? Total implementation going in Python, right? Yes. Java is never preferred within this data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence this implementations, right? So Python is mostly preferred. So Python is the #1 ranked programming today, right? Because of its diversified number of applications, like it 31% used. At the end of the session, I'll be showing you some graphs. I'll open Google and show you those things, right? Okay. We can write many automation script using the scripting features, right? So as part of our course, I'll be discussing all this, right? Procedural oriented, object oriented, scripting and modular, right? So if you talk, the Java developers are strictly restricted. The Java developers are strictly restricted, right? To use only object oriented programming, but Python with object oriented, with procedural oriented, with modular programming, we can develop many types of applications, right? Yes. So Python has got great boom today because of this modular programming, where Python has got modules 89,300 inbuilt modules Python providing for different domains, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. Now observe this, right? Modules. If I discuss about this modules, right? Python has got boom because of these modules. No need to write huge coding by using these modules, which has got built-in functions, classes, right? Using them, we can perform the operations, right? So, for example, for data science, we have got separate modules Python is providing, right? Separate modules for data science environment. For big data also, we have got separate modules Python is providing, right? For every domain, it is providing modules. For networking, it has got separate modules. For testing, it has got modules. For animations, right? Okay. For operating system kinds of activities, the name of the module itself is OS, right? Networking, testing, animations, OS. For databases, for every database, it is providing a module. For connecting with MySQL, PyMySQL, right? Yes. For connecting, right, with MySQL, PyMySQL. Okay. Connecting with MySQL, connecting with Oracle, right? CX underscore Oracle. For Oracle and PyODBC, right? Yes, for SQL Server. ODBC, right? PyODBC for SQL Server, right? For big data, for networking, for testing, for animations, for OS, for PyMySQL, for CX underscore Oracle, for okay. For all this, it is providing separate modules. And for working with Excel files, Excel model, I can create Excel workbook, right? For writing Python statements, I can create Excel files. I can create Excel sheets within that Excel workbook. Into a sheet 2, I can write into from sheet 1, I can read, right? So in this way, I can perform any operations. Not only Excel, we can create PDF files, JSON files, Excel, PDF, JSON, XML, any kinds of files. We have got modules for statistics, stat models are available. And for mathematical operations, math model for generating different types of graphs, normal graph, bar graph, histogram, scatter plot, stack plots, right? Yes. Okay. So in this way, not only for computer applications, even for electronic, for a civil environment also, it has got modules, right? Embedded systems for computer aided designing, CAD, right? Yes. So what kind of applications we can develop today by using Python real-time applications, right? Yes. So today, like Python mostly used in what kind of applications means? Firstly, like web applications. Lot of web applications are getting developed today by using Python, right? Web applications, lot of web applications are getting developed. So especially you may ask, already from last 20-25 years, Java, .NET, all these, they are used for creating web applications. Why again Python required means? Python has got a framework like a Django, right? At a rapid speed, we can develop a web application. It has got its own server, it has got its own database, right? SQLite 3. Yes. Once again, can anyone please confirm, is my voice clear to all?
Yes, sir. It is clear.
So apart from this, Python is mostly used in automation applications, right? Automation applications like it is used within this data science environment, in IoT. Yes. In AWS or DevOps, we write scripts, right? Automation scripts, right? IoT, Internet of Things, right? Without internet, right? So everything today, if you see everything going within this online, right? Everything through online banking, online shopping, online exams, online healthcare, right? Everything through online, right? Yes. Online communication, online audio video chatting, online healthcare, online games, right? So IoT is a physical network or device embedded with electronics, software, and sensors for collecting data, exchanging data, and controlling the things from the place where we are, right? And AWS, okay, in AWS and DevOps also we'll be writing many automation scripts. Python is one of the best scripting language with vast varieties of libraries. And even in data and data science, for data analysis, data predictions, data classifications, data recommendations. So we have got blend of techniques. The main technique what we see here, ML, machine learning, right? The main technique what we see is ML, machine learning, right? Yes. So for machine learning, we have got many techniques, right? Making the machine to learn, application to learn, right? Regression, classification, clustering, recommendations, pattern matching, right? Yes.
Sir, if you don't mind, can you repeat what is Django?
Yes, yes.
Thanks.
So Django is a web framework. It's a framework of Python for developing web applications, interactive applications, right? If you want to create a project using Python, we go for Django framework. Django is the framework of Python used to develop interactive web applications, right, with Python. So it has got its own features, right? It has got many flexible features. No need to write huge code with very less coding, and at a rapid speed you can develop application, right? It has got its own database also, SQLite 3. So yes. So for creating web applications, we use the Django framework using Python, right? So for machine learning, deep learning, AI, for all this, right, for implementing, right, we require a language to code. We require for coding, we require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used programming. Okay. Apart from this, one more the what is that area, right? One of the biggest other area, right, where Python is mostly preferred is big data environment, right? Big data applications. So you should have seen, right? I'll just take a minute where exactly Python used within this big data. Should have seen KBs of data or MBs of data, gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes, etabytes, sotabytes, so on, right? KB, MB, GB, TB, petabytes, exabytes. Okay, from TB onwards, we say like it's big data, like huge data, right? So, right, you should have seen KBs, MBs, or GBs, or even TBs, right? But do you think like petabytes, exabytes of this data, is it getting generated? If so, right. Okay. So here, petabytes of data means 1 petabyte equal to 1024 TB. Do you think like petabytes of data, is it getting generated? Means yes. Facebook, millions and trillions of users in a minute. How many FB posts? What is the data generated by Facebook in a minute? What should be the storage capacity to handle all this, right? So yes, huge data, right? Not only Facebook. If I take 1 minute transaction, right, you can see many applications generating huge data today. One of this is Facebook. If you talk about Twitter tweets, keeps on generating. Google queries, right? Yes. Facebook, Twitter, Google queries, YouTube videos upload. Everyone just uploading your videos in the YouTube, right? What should be the storage capacity to handle all those, right? Huge data. Not only that, like email messages. What should be the storage capacity to store all these messages, right? Bank transactions, telecom transactions, or e-commerce like Amazon, Flipkart transactions, right? For all this, right, huge data. So we have got some big data tools available for this, like big data Hadoop, big data Spark, right? For storage and processing, where Hadoop can store, Spark can process in a very high speed, right? Combinedly, both can store and process. So Hadoop and Spark, if you want implementing using languages like Scala language, implemented using languages like Python language, yes. But Spark with Python, we call like PySpark, right? Yes. So even within this big data environment, within PySpark, Python is preferred. Apart from this, right? Big data applications, right? And automation applications, web applications. Next, GUI, graphical user interface, or animation applications, right? Graphical user interface or animation applications. We use models like PyQt, tkinter, right? Yes. For scientific applications, we use models like CP. CP nothing but scientific Python. NumPy nothing but numerical Python. Apart from this, Python mostly used today for gaming, right? Game development. Python mostly used for game development. For game development, right? So a lot of games, online games, single user, multi-user games are getting developed, right? So even game development, right? Yes. So especially for developing games in Python, right? We have got a separate framework Python is providing, right? Pygame. It's a framework given by Python for developing games. PyCar also is one more framework given by Python for developing games. And for 3D games, 3D rendering libraries, we have got PySoy, right? Yes. Apart from this, Python is also used for scheduling tasks. We have got Airflow for it. And apart from this, Python is also used for testing or for test cases, right? Test cases. And Python is also used for software development. Software development, right? Yes. Software developers make use of Python as a support language. And apart from this, Python are used for networking applications. For networking applications, there is separate framework. Twisted Python is a separate framework given by Python for developing networking applications. Twisted Python, right? Yes. Apart from this, Python is also used for one of the hottest application of Python, right? Yes. Working with database applications. Without database, there is no web application. So Python can easily connect with any database like MySQL, SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, all this, right? Yes. Apart from this, for web scraping. For extracting data from different websites, right? For extracting data from different websites, harvesting data. They have got URL model, beautiful soup for it. Okay, apart from this, Python can also be used for business application. Python is business applications, right? Python is one of the best sites for developing e-commerce systems, right? And apart from this, Python can be used for embedded applications. Embedded applications, right? Yes. The most famous embedded application, right? Raspberry Pi. Which uses Python for its computation, right? And now, not only for this, we have got some CAD applications, computer-aided designing. CAD applications are for 3D CAD applications, and for computer vision, for color detection, face detection, and object detection, right? Computer vision. And apart from this, for robotics, we use desktop applications. Desktop applications means single user applications or console applications, right? Yes. So in this way, we have got many applications for Python, mostly used for this automation applications, web applications, GUI, game development, scheduling tasks, test cases, software development, right? Okay. Okay, apart from this, who are using Python today? Who are using Python today? Top most applications. Top most applications built using Python. Google is built by using Python. Google web search systems, right? Google is one of the best example for Python web application. Next, Yahoo using, right? YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Uber using Python. Uber pricing algorithm implemented using Python. Apart from this, Instagram using Python, right? The prime reason for Instagram to choose for Python is Python practicality and its hybrid features, right? And we have got other applications like Quora, Reddit, and some Pinterest, some applications, right? Yes. Okay, Google, Yahoo, YouTube, Uber, Instagram, Quora, Reddit, Pinterest. Apart from this, right? Yes. Yeah, Python is used for Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python script, right? And MMOG, massively multiplayer online games. Yes. Ready? Okay. for hardware testing purpose, right? Companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all these they use Python for hardware testing purpose. Okay. And BitTorrent using Python for its file sharing service. Okay. So in this way, we have got applications, right? In this way, many applications, right? And reasons which makes Python super popular, right? So reasons which makes most of these programmers or developers are attracted or migrating towards Python because of its very less code using Python, very less coding, right? Okay, very less coding, simple syntaxes given by Python, interactive mode. We can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives the response. I'll discuss about it in tomorrow's session. And multi-programming features, right? Multi-programming features, hybrid features, right? Yes. Wide varieties of applications, wide varieties of wide varieties of wide varieties of application. Apart from this, right? Yes, yeah. Very less coding, simple syntaxes, interactive mode, multi-programming features, wide varieties of application, many built-in libraries, many built-in libraries, right? Yes. Okay. So these are the reasons which makes Python super popular. Just I'll be showing you, right? The number one ranked programming language today. Number one ranked programming language. And see this. Popular coding language from last 2-3 years, right? Popular coding language. So if you see this from last 2-3 years, observe top 10 programming languages. First Python stands, next JavaScript, Java, right? If we take right popular programming languages used by top 25 unicorns, Python, Java, JavaScript, programming languages, right? More Python remains most popular programming language. Python, Java, JavaScript, right? Popularity of programming language ranking 2000. Python, next Java, JavaScript. So ranking wise, if you say rank, Python is number one rank. Next comes Java, C, C++, right? And even usage in that current, right? Usage of this Python. So big circle, 31% usage for Python, Java 19%, I said, C++ 10%, C 6%. So in this way, right? Yes. So even if you see from the last 4-5 years, the usage of Python has increased a lot. Usage of Python. So this dog blue color, right? 2000. Okay. So from last 4 years. So it's increasing, right? Okay. Just to see the course content of this, right? Yes, observe this course content, right? Yes. Python basics. Why Python history, applications, features, versions, installation. Python operations. Python operations, right? Modes, executions, data types, constants, variables. Operators in Python. Python IDs, working with different IDs in Python, PyCharm, Anaconda, Spider, Jupyter, right? I'm going to show you in real time all the IDs, whatever we use. I'm going to show you how to download and how to install and how to work on that. Right? Flow control statements, looping statements, strings, right? String indexing, string slicing, string functions, string methods, string special characters, right? Collections in Python, right? Python list, tuples, sets, dictionaries, right? Everything in brief. Functions, right? Functions in Python, non-keyword, keyword, default, non-default arguments, lambda functions, reduce functions, map function, right? Modules in Python, different ways of importing, renaming, reloading, right? Packages in Python, errors and exceptions, right? And file handling, object-oriented programming concepts in brief, regular expressions, database connectivity, and Python data and time, operating system module, advanced concepts, iterator generator, closures, decorators, right? Graphical user programming, GUI programming, right? Graphic applications, working with Excel workbook, data analytics, introduction to data science, some models like Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, right? So I'll be discussing about different modules, right? NumPy module, Pandas, Matplotlib, some models related to data science, some models related to big data, some models related to operating systems, some related to databases, some related to regular expressions, some related to graphics, right? In this way, different types of models and how to work with how to create our own modules, user defined modules, right? Apart from this, Django, those who go for Django, right? Python full stack, introduction, web frameworks, Django installation, project architecture, Django creations, applications creations, Django views, templates, Django admin models, right? And UI technologies, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and MySQL. So this is what I'll be discussing totally as part of this course, right? Yes. So here, those who go for Python, only Python, right? So I'll be discussing like Python core, advanced and application oriented modules. So nearly 70 hours I'll be taking for it. Nearly 70 hours I'll be taking. So the fee structure is just 5K. It's an offer batch for it. And apart from this, I'll be taking HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, that is UI, right? And Django, plus applications like nearly some 15 to 20, 15 applications creations, right? Within this Django, right? Step by step, plus project. So for all this, right, that it's 5K, and for this remaining, it's 5K. Need like 10K full stack. Those who want to go for full stack, it is 10K. For only Python, it is 5K, right? So any queries from your side? Tomorrow also you can attend the session same time, right, at 6 p.m. So for the first 10 days, the timing of this batch will be at 6 p.m., but later it will be at 7 p.m., right? Once again, I'm just repeating. So it will be at 6 p.m. for the first 10 days. For the later after the 10 days, right? The timing of this batch will be from at 7 p.m., right? Up to the end of this course, right? Any queries from your side, anyone, right? Yes.
Sir, I have a question. So, what kind of material will you be providing for us?
Yes, yes. So what are the offerings from my side is, so every session is video recorded. You'll be getting the recorded video, right? Daily,
Mhm.
a daily basis. And if topic wise, you'll be getting the soft copy of this notes, right? To your mail IDs. And for any technical discussions, if you get any errors, other things, right? There is a WhatsApp group will be created. If you get any errors, you can just take a snap of it and you can paste it in the, that is post in the group, right? So an assignments and tasks will be provided. So it's getting the output is not the criteria here. You need to write your own code. You need to build the code, right? So by the end of this Python course, right, you'll be getting command on this, right, working with different modules related to different domains, right? Later, how to explore any module. For that, you need to know about this Python, right? And import operations, right? Any other queries, right? Yes.
Also, you have mentioned that you'll move this class to 7 p.m., right? Is there any class which starts at 6 o'clock and continue to be at 6 o'clock? Or
6 p.m.
yeah, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. No, right? As actually there is a request by most of the students that
Okay.
people who are from uh, offices, right? 7 p.m. will be the better choice, and also those people who are coming from the colleges and attending the class, right? 6 p.m. right? Instead of at 6 p.m. will be the better choice. That's the request from the students. That's why it's taken at 7 p.m.
Okay, sir. Thank
Okay, fine. Any other queries? Okay, fine. So if you have got any more queries, you can ask me in the tomorrow session also, right? So if I'm done with your queries, I'll sign off for now. Meet you tomorrow, same time at 6 p.m. tomorrow, 6 p.m. with the same link, right? Yes.
Sir, one last question. So these are demo classes, right? So demo classes are till what date, and actual classes start from what date?
So today is the first class. Tomorrow's class will be the second class. It continues. 70 hours continues, right?
Okay, it
One
continues. So
session two, but the first three sessions, right? 3 to 4 sessions you can attend, right?
okay,
Next 3 sessions, next 2 or 3 sessions you can attend, right?
okay, sir. Okay, thanks.
But it's not like it continues, but again it won't be repeated, right?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
So I'm stopping here. It will continue.
Thanks.
Yes. Yeah, good evening all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right? Yes.
Yes, visible and voice is clear.
Fine. So please be in mute, everyone. So at the end of the session, you can ask the queries, right? Fine. Yes. So today, yesterday I was briefing you about this, right? In the demo session, right? So why Python? Who can learn Python? There is no prerequisites. Anybody can update with Python. That it looks like normal English statements, right? And by what kind of applications, right? Mostly like web applications, animation applications, automation applications, gaming applications, embedded applications, desktop applications, right? Wide varieties of applications. And fine. So just if I enter into the technicals, right? Python software foundation. Before I go with the installations, versions, and execution modes, right? Python software foundation, right? Python software foundation. PSF. We get what? PSF. Python software foundation, right? It is a non-profit organization. It is a non-profit organization, right? Devoted towards Python community. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year. It was launched in the year 2001, right? Yes. It was launched in the year 2001. The main objective is, right? Yes. Objective is to foster the development, right? To foster the development of Python, to foster the development of Python. It was launched in the year 2001 to foster the development of Python, right? It was launched, okay. In the year 2005, in the year 2000, in the year 2005, PSF, Python Software Foundation. In the year 2005, PSF, Python Software Foundation received Computer World Horizon Award. Received Computer World Horizon Award, right? Yes. In the year 2005, PSF received Computer World Horizon Award, right? Yes. And the president for this is nothing but the personality who developed or who introduced Python, right? The same personality is the president for Python Software Foundation, Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum, right? Yes, is the president for this Python Software Foundation. Rossum, right? Sorry. And headquarters, where are the headquarters, right? Headquarters, Delaware, right? Delaware, US, United States, right? Yes. Headquarters, Delaware, US, right? And official website. Official website, right? Official website. Official website, right? python.www.python.org. Official website, python.org, right? Yes. Okay. Go to headquarters and official website, Python. And Python versions, you need to know something about the Python versions before we go with the installation part. Python versions, right? Yes. Python 1.x version, right? Python 1.x. It was released in the year 1990. 10 years later, the Python 2 version was released, right? Python 2.x. Python 2.x version released in the year 2000, right? The next version, 3 version, 2.x means 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, right? Next, Python 3.x. Python 3.x, right? It was released in the year 2008. And the version what we are using currently is 3 version, right? The version what we are using is 3 version, right? Almost like last 14, 15 years, right? The 3 version only is going on, right? Yes. Latest version of Python. Latest version of Python. Python 3.11. Python 3.11, right? Yes. Yes. Latest version of Python, right? Stable version of Python. Stable, right? Stable version of Python. Stable version of Python, right? Yes. So mostly used version. Stable version is nothing but mostly used version. Used version, right? Yes. Mostly used version, right? Python 3.9. Python 3. Previous stable version, right? Previous stable version, right? Python 2.7. Yes, Python 2.7. Okay, next Python installation, right? Yes, Python installation. It hardly takes 2 to 5 minutes for downloading and installing Python, right? I'll be showing you from the scratch ground level, right? So how to download it and how to install this, so, right? Yes, before I uninstall, I'll let me uninstall this and show you, right? So go to the start programs, go to settings, apps, apps and features, right? Okay. Python 3.11.2, right? Yes. 3.11.2 is the version, right? Just I'm uninstalling this. So Python provides multiple softwares for multiple things, right? Multiple environments. So just uninstall this. It provides multiple softwares for multiple environments, for Windows, for Mac OS, for Linux. For Linux, no need of any separate installation. By default, you see Python as an inbuilt, right? By default, we see Python as an inbuilt. Right? No need of any separate installation, but for Windows and for Mac OS, we need to install it, right? So for Windows, again, we need to check whether it is 32-bit Windows or 64-bit Windows. For 32, separate software Python provides. For 64-bit, it provides separate software, right? Yes. Okay. First check whether your Windows is a 32-bit or 64-bit, right? Whether your Windows is a 32 or 64-bit. Go to your this PCR computer, right click on this PCR computer and right click and say properties. Right click and say properties, right? Yes. It is clearly saying 64-bit operating system. If you're using like Windows 7 or Windows 8, right? Yes, 32-bit, you may be having 32-bit, right? Yes. Okay, 32-bit Python, 64-bit operating system, right? Yes. Okay. Now open Google, right? Open Google and say, right, what is the official website for Python? Python.org, www.python.org, right? Python.org is the official website from where we can download, right? Okay, fine. So you can see this python.org. Here you can say downloads, all releases. You can see all the Python releases from the last 20 years. All releases, if you click from the last 20 years, you can see all the Python versions, right? Yes, see this. Looking for a specific release, you can say what? Looking for a specific release. You can see the Python versions from the last 20 years in this, right? From, observe here, from June 22, 2001, 2.0.1, right? Yes. Three point 11.2, 3.11.2, right? Yes. Click this 3.11.2, right? Scroll down to the bottom, right? Is Windows installer 64-bit. Windows installer 64-bit. Windows installer 64-bit. Windows installer 32-bit. Windows installer 64-bit, right? Yes. Click this Windows installer 64-bit, right? Download started. You can see at the bottom 24.2 MB, right? Okay. In download completed. Download is finished, right? Yes. You can just double click this. You will get this window in this way, right? You will get the windows in this way. Don't immediately go for installation. At the bottom, you can say add Python to path, add Python to path. Customize installation. Go for customize installation, right? Go, just click this and you will get all this documentation, pip ideally, nothing to select, everything are pre-selected, right? Just say next. So here you can just see, right? Yes, where this Python is getting installed in C drive, in users, Dell, app data, local, programs, Python, Python 3.11, right? Yes. So just remove all this, right? Remove all this. Because tomorrow, if you want to locate Python, you need to enter into those many subdirectories. You need to enter into those many subdirectories, right? Okay. And remove this Python also. Directly, you can say Python 3.11 only, right? C/Python 3.11. Install. You can say what? Install. Only 1 minute it takes to install Python, right? Yes. Yeah, setup was successful, right? Yes, setup was successful, right? I'm closing this. Now let us check whether it is successfully installed or not. People who wants to install Python on the Mac OS, you can just select this Mac OS 64-bit universal installer, right? And people who wants to work with Python on Linux environment, right? Already Python will be available, no need to install, right? But if you want the latest version of Python to be installed, right, then you can go with this command, right? Yes. Sudo, you need to install from the sudo, right? That is from the root user, sudo apt-get install Python 3.11. Okay, just 1 second. Next is like, okay, Python execution. Okay, let us check whether it is successfully installed or not. Go to the command prompt, right? Yes. And just type Python, just type. If you say enter, it should display the Python version, right? It should display the Python version, right? Yes. Python 3.11.2. That is the Python version, and this is the interpreter, right? Interpreter. Okay. You can see these three arrow symbols, and Python 3.11.2 is the version, right? You can type any valid Python statements and interact, right? 3 plus 4, like any valid Python, x equal to 10, y equal to 5. What is x value? What is y value? What is x plus y? X minus y? X by y? X into y, right? Yes. So any valid Python statements, you can say x into 2, x to the power of 2, right? X equal to hello, x into 3, x into 5, any valid prints hello for 5 times, right? In this way, any valid Python statements, you can just type and check, right? We can interact with Python statement by statement. This kind of feature you cannot see in other programming languages. Interactive mode, right? Quit to come out of this, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. Next, Python execution modes. Python execution modes, right? Yes. Two modes of execution, right? Two modes of execution. First one, interactive mode. Second is batch mode. Interactive mode and batch mode. Interactive mode means just now we discussed, right? Here we directly type Python statements. Here we directly type Python statements. Directly type Python statements on the interpreter. We directly type Python statements on the interpreter. And the user can easily interact. We directly type Python statements on the interpreter, and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. User can easily interact with Python statement by statement. Advantage. What is the advantage of interactive mode means if it doesn't know about any particular functionality, you can type on this and okay, to interact, to test the functionalities of Python, to test the functionalities of Python. And to learn Python, to test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python, we go. But to develop applications, this interactive mode is not preferred, right? We go for batch mode, right? Batch mode means batch of statements. Test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. Yeah, I'll just provide it, right? So here to test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python, right? Batch mode, right? Here we write a batch of statements. We write batch of statements. 1 second. Right, here we write a batch of statements within the editors or IDEs. Within the editors or IDEs, right? And save it as .py. Save it as .py extension and later submit it to Python. And later submit it to Python, right? Yes. Okay. Yes, I'll discuss that. What is the syllabus, course content, everything. Yes, one. Here we write batch of statements within the editors or ID, save it by using .py extension, later submit it to Python. What are the various editors where we can write the Python code? Various editors, right? Various editors or IDs. Various editors within the notepad. Gunashekar Reddy, right? Antapu, please be in mute. Various editors where we can write the Python code, right? Notepad, within the notepad you can write. Within the edit plus we can write. Within the edit plus, right? Within the VI editor, within the nano editor we can write, right? Notepad, edit plus, VI and nano. And various IDs where we can write various IDEs, right? Integrated development environments, right? In real time, we use these IDs. So I'm going to discuss many IDs, right, as part of Python, which are supported by Python. Various IDEs, right? Yes. PyCharm, right? PyCharm, second like PyDev. So various IDs: PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter, right? Yes, Jupyter, right? And VS Code, right? Yes, VS Code. So PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter, VS Code, right? Yes. PyCharm, among all these, PyCharm is the mostly used one, right? So I will show you how to download and how to install all this, right? And how to write the code and how to execute this code, right? Mostly used one, right? Among all this, right? Yes. And if you can see in the chart panel, there is a post given by this online team, right? You can see the course content of this demo link, right? What is the demo link which we are following now? And also you can see the course content and course content of Python and course content of entire full stack, you can see. And demo video, right? Yesterday's demo video, right? You can see that yesterday's demo video. Yesterday we had a demo, right? That video, if anybody has not attended yesterday's demo, you can just go through that, right? And the contact details of this online team, and also the payment process and procedure, right? Yes, payment process and procedure. Yes. Okay, fine. So I'll okay. So these are the various editors and various IDs, right? Yes. So I'll just show you how to write the code within these editors and within these IDs, right? And writing the first Python application. So more discussion, right? I'll be discussing in the tomorrow session. Tomorrow also everyone can attend the session at same time using the same link. So I'll just be discussing this how to write the Python code and some technicals, right? I'll be just tomorrow I'll go with the basic technical part of Python. So before that, we can just see this course content, right? 1 second. See in the chart, if you click that, right, you'll be getting the course content, right? Durga soft. Yes. Excuse me. Okay. Now you can see that in brief, in depth, it's a 70 hours course, right? It's not like an overview. In depth, we'll be discussing the Python basics, Python operations, constants, variables, type conversions, editors, IDEs, right? Strings, comments, operators in Python, IDEs, right? PyCharm, and different types of IDEs in Python, right? Flow control statements, right? Flow control statements, looping statements, strings in Python, collections in Python, Python lists, Python tuples, Python sets, dictionaries in Python, functions, right? Modules in Python, packages, errors and exceptions, file handling, object-oriented programming, regular expressions, database access, Python datetime module, operating system module, advanced concepts, iterator generator, closures, GUI programming, Excel workbook, data analytics, right? And introduction to data science, pandas, numpy, matplotlib. And when you come to Django, right? Django introduction, frameworks, installation, architecture, applications, views, templates, admin, models, concepts, and UI technologies, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and MySQL, right? So this is what we'll be discussing in brief, in depth. Only Python 70 hours. So just 5K is the free structure. And for along full stack, Python advanced, core advanced plus Django framework plus UI technologies like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap plus project. So total it will be 10K for everything, right? But only for Python it's 5K, right? And for total full stack Python it will be like 4 months. Only for Python it will be 2 months, right? Correct. So that is the course content, course structure, right? So yes, Pramod Shinde, right? So this batch for the demo sections, right? Like tomorrow also you can attend for the next 3 to 4 days, right? For the next 2 3 days or next for it will be at 6 p.m. But later the timing of the batch is 7 p.m. right? Timing of this is 7 p.m. right? So for the next 2 3 days it will be at 6 p.m. but later it will be at 7 p.m. right, everyone? Any other queries, right, as part of today's session? So tomorrow also you can attend the session to see more on this. Yes. Okay, fine. So I'll stop for now. We'll continue tomorrow, more discussion on this, right? Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you tomorrow, same time, right? Yes. We'll start at sharp 6 p.m. right tomorrow. Yes. Yeah, good evening all. Right. So in the last class, just I discussed about Python software foundation, Python versions, right? Yeah, 1 second. Okay, Python versions were discussed in the last class. Python installation, Python execution modes, 2 modes of execution, right? So interactive mode, here we can directly type Python statements and user can easily interact with Python statement by statement, right? Batch mode, here we write batch of statements within the editor's IDs and save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python. What are the various editors where we can write the Python code? What are the various editors where we can write Notepad, Edit Plus, VI, and Nano? Various IDEs, right? PyCharm, PyDev, Commodore, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, and VS Code, right? Yes, PyCharm is the mostly used. I'll be showing you how to download and how to install all these IDs. PyCharm is the mostly used. I'll show like how to with Jupyter Notebook, Spider, Eclipse, VS Code, all this, right? Developing the first Python application, right? Developing the first Python application. developing the first Python application using a editor, example like Notepad, right? Using a editor, example like Notepad. Okay, open Notepad and type the following Python statements. Open Notepad, right? Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. So up to now, we didn't discuss anything about Python, right? Anything about Python, right? X value is 10. X is 10, Y is 5. Print X plus Y. Okay, just give Y equal to 20. X is 10, Y is 20. Perform some kind of arithmetic operations, right? Print X plus Y, X minus Y. Print X into Y. Print X by Y. X plus Y, X minus Y, X into Y, X by Y, right? Print X by Y. Okay, just I'll copy this to a separate notepad file, right? I'll copy this to a separate notepad file. Okay, just open this notepad, right? And type the statements. Control V. X is 10, Y is 20, X plus 5. I'll save this, right? Save it. Python 6. Okay. I'm creating a folder with the name Python 6 p.m. right? Yes. Python 6 p.m. right? A folder I'm creating, within that I'm saving, right? Sample1 dot py, sample1 dot py, right? Yes. Okay. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20, right? Yes. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So here now, writing here, save as sample1 dot py and later submit to Python. Later submit to Python, right? Later submit to Python as. How to submit to Python, right? Later submit to Python as. Go to this command prompt, cmd. Yes, cmd you can say, and just type this. Okay. Series slash. Okay. Otherwise, just say Python. Just say Python and don't say enter. Just give the path where this file is available. C slash C slash Python 6 p.m. Right. Python 6 p.m. Within that sample1 dot py sample1 dot py. Just 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. We just observe this, giving the entire path, the file name, in which folder, in which drive, right? Submitting to Python. Okay, this is what, submitting the entire file path to Python. Control C. Okay, suggest. But here, what is your observation? But here, we are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place, right? But here we are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. We are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. But to write and execute at the same place, but to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment, right? Integrated Development Running Environment. Which comes along with Python installation, which comes along with Python installation. Using which we can write and execute. We can write and at the same place. So we can write and execute at the same place. Write and execute at the same place. We have ideally, which comes along with Python installation, using which we can write and execute at the same place. How to open this ideally? How to open this ideally? And okay. So just to go to the start programs, check where your Python is available. Check where your Python is available here, right? So Python 3.11, right? Within this Python 3.11, just click this ideally. Ideally, you will get this Python shell gets open, right? File, new file. file, new file you need to say, right? If you want to work with batch mode. And you can just type the statements here. X as 10, Y as 5, print X plus Y, print X minus Y, X into Y, print X by Y, right? X plus Y, X minus Y, X into Y, X by Y. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Save it. Yes. File, save. Python 6 p.m. right? sample2.py. Yes. Run module. Here only, see here itself we are writing the code. Here itself we are executing the code, right? Here itself we are writing, here itself we are executing the code, right? Yes. Yes, just run module. Check this, right? Yes. Understood, right, everyone? Yes. 10 plus 5, 10 minus 5, 10 into 5, 10 by 5. Okay. So this how to run the code within this editors and interactive mode, and with this batch mode, how to run within the editor. Later, I discuss how to run the Python code within the IDEs, integrated development environment. Once we are done with a little bit of technical content, right? Yes. Fine. So next, I'll be just entering into this technicals, right? Yes. Python data types and variables, right? Python data types and variables. Every organization, right, has got data and operation. Every organization, right, has got data and operations. Data represented using data represented, right? Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions, right? Yes. Data represented using data types or variables, operations represented using functions. Any organization, it has got data and operations, right? You take the example of a bank consisting of customers, employees, their customer details, name, account number, address, balance, everything using data types or variables. Later we discuss about functions. Now observe this, discussing about this data types. Data types, right? Discussing about the data types. If I compare C, C++, and Java with Python, C, C++, Java with Python, right? Yes. Just 1 second. Give me a second. Every organization has got data and operations, data represented using data types. So just I was discussing, right? If you, yes. Just observe this, right? C plus C, C plus plus Java with Python, right? Yes. So Python supports dynamic data types. Python supports dynamic data type, right? Python supports that. So in other programming language, if you say like X as 10, Y as 4.5, Z as a string like hello, right? So compulsory we need to define the data type int or float or string, right? Int or float or string. Okay, compulsory, this data type defining is compulsory. But in Python, no need to define directly. We can say X as 10, Y as 4.5, Z as hello, right? Yes, no need to define all this. Okay. What kind of variable X is here? What kind of variable X is means based on the data type defining, you are saying it as integer based on this float Y. So as you are defining this data type float, right? It is float type, it is string type. And Z, string Z, right? Yes. X has 10, Y has 4.5, Z has hello, right? So here, what kind of variable X means what value you are assigned to it? What kind of variable Y is means what value you are assigned to it? So you assign integer value, so it will be integer type. As you was assigned float value, it will be float type. As you assigned string value to it, it will be string type. So there is a function type, right? Type of X is int. Why it is integer? Because you assigned the integer value. Type of Y is float, right? What type it is? Float. Type of Z, it is string type, right? Yes. What kind of variable? Type of X, type of Y, type of Z. Type of X, integer. Type of Y, float. Type of Z. Based upon what value you are assigning, based on the value assigned, the variables are created automatic. So now I'm going to make you understand by taking 4 cases, right? Observe these 4 cases, everyone, right? So here, that's why we call dynamic data types, right? Based upon what value you have assigned. If you're assigning integer value, integer type, float value, float type. So case 1, defining a variable, and defining a variable, right? Yes. X equal to 10, one object is going to get created with value 10, right? Observe carefully. Whenever you say x equal to 10, an object is going to get created with value 10, it is going to have some address. The address is given to x. Here, what x is storing? What x is storing? Yes. What x is storing means, don't say x is storing the 10. X stores this address. 3 things you need to understand here. Print x means what? It goes to this address, prints whatever present at that address, prints the content at that address, prints the content at that address. What is the content at that address? 10. It is going to print 10. Next, print id of x. Print x means prints the content at that address, that is 10. id of x means prints the address. Type, there is one more function called id is one function. Type of x is what type? Prints the data type, right? Prints the data type of x. What type it is? Integer type. Yes. Yeah, finished, right? Yes. Case 1, printing the content, printing the address, and printing the type, right? Yes. Now observe this case 2, right? Observe this case 2. Now here everyone try to respond. You can unmute yourself, right? Everyone, you can unmute yourself and you can just give your response, right? Yes, I want the sessions to be interactive, right? X value 10, y value is 20. X is 10, y is 20. How many objects are going to get created here? How many objects will be created here?
Only one.
Two objects.
Only one.
For 10, one object, for 21 more object, right? 2 objects gets created
Good.
with 2 different addresses, 104080. This address is given to x, this address is given to y. Print x. Print x equal to, what is that? Try to answer. Everyone. Print x, what is the value?
030.
So if you got some background noise, right? I'm muting all. If you have got, yes. If you got some background noise, you can just give a response to the chat. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and you can give the response, right? What is print x, everyone? 10. Print ID of x.
103070.
103070.
Address of X.
Type of x.
Integer.
Hmm.
Integer, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Print y.
Print y20.
20. ID of y.
104080.
104080.
0.
Type of y.
Int.
Integer type, right?
Yes,
Two
sir.
different variables with two different values, then two different objects gets created with two different
Addresses.
addresses. Two different variables with two different values, then two different objects with two different addresses, right? Understood, right, everyone?
Yeah, understood.
Just give me a second. Saturday.